Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to my channel. Top 8 most expensive bikes in the world. So make sure to watch the full video. ADCOS FD Ti XX Titanium Series, $300,000. In 2007, many thought the $300,000 price was insane for a big bike, even if everything that mattered was oozing out. Times have changed, and in 10 years, $300,000 has easily lost its #1 spot in the world's 10 most expensive cars to 8th place. The FE Ti XX is powered by a 2,409 billet aluminum engine that delivers 228 HP to the rear wheels. Carbon fiber is used in the bike to reduce weight. This saddle is handmade by Italian fashion leather master Berluti. 9th degree titanium oscillation ball forged with ceramic media. Those who managed to capture the FE Ti XX are undoubtedly in a tight group, as only 13 were produced. 7 Dodge Tomahawk V10 Superbike, $550,000. If you think the Dodge Tomahawk V10 Superbike looks like a two-wheeled, four-wheel Dodge racing together, you're not alone. This Tomahawk V10 Superbike is a strange beast and is dragged by a convoy of AEL 500 active ponies. Not just because it uses a V10 4-stroke Dodge Viper engine that easily powers a chassis with more than 2 wheels and gives you expensive equipment. I look forward to attacking the best still. Now talk about the spirit of the two-wheeled horse. The one-of-a-kind Tomahawk introduced in 2003 is operational and road-ready, but has not yet completed road testing. At the very least, this Tomahawk can reach 96.5 km/h in about 2.5 seconds, and has a theoretical top speed of 400 miles per hour. It's hard to imagine anyone wanting to prove it. He might have been Evel Knievel, but when Tomahawk was released he had already retired and is now dead. But do you agree? You may have serious doubts about riding this big bike, but many bike enthusiasts would like to bring this beast to their garage. With custom components milled from aluminum blocks, this Tomahawk will grab the attention of anyone in any showroom. 6 Harley-Davidson Cosmic Starship, $1.5 million. Once the #1 car in most of the top 10 supercars, it now ranks only 6th. But it was asked to sell for $3.5 million and is now selling for $12 million. In such a case, he should or should not give back the crown he once held, because we don't think all entries here will be of equal value over the next few days. Few people already think of big cars as a work of art in general, so the next step is to make real art, right? Harley-Davidson seems to think so, teaming up with rebel cosmic existentialist Jack Armstrong for their stars to paint their Harley V-Rods yellow and red, with prices starting at $1 million internationally after aftermarket. But if you want a star, you might want to think twice before scattering the treasure. What should we do? You can remove the paint and repair it at the vault, and replace it with normal items, but that's not a decision. Art and technology come together, and the price is determined according to this combination. Your next best bet is to spend another $16,000 on an unpainted V-bar. This brings us to another fact. The artwork is worth $984,000. But when you consider that some of Armstrong's items brought in $3 million, there's no reason to expect the price to rise. 5 BMS Nemesis, $3 million. BMS Nemesis. The first thing you'll notice about the BMS Nemesis is its light yellow color and the absence of side belts that make it look like a whale on its belly. Effectively, it includes an air suspension that, along with a swing arm rear suspension, can raise the bike to 10 inches or lower it flat to the ground. This makes the side brackets unnecessary, as the Nemesis slowly relies on the frame rails when it comes to downtime. For yellow glitter, 24-karat gold is just for you. That explains the $3 million price easily, and anyone will understand if you don't want it to leave your house from the day you buy it. You will need to install a display unit in front of the house and raise it to a nice height, so that everyone can see the beauty of your jewelry. For more enjoyment, make the gallery at least big enough to move with Nemesis. 4 Hildebrand and Wolfmuller, $3.5 million. History is expensive, and for $3.5 million, you will be taken 124 years back to 1894, when the first motorcycles were built from scratch. Heinrich and Wilhelm Hildebrand were motor engineers before collaborating with Alois Wolfmuller in Munich in 1894 to develop an internal combustion engine motorcycle. This momentous event began to push the carcass horse out of fashion and reinvented itself as a symbol of wisdom. Gentlemen and men of a special breed continue on their way and pass on their love to the two-wheeled metal gas-fired horses on the road. If you manage to get your hands on this car and want to learn its true history by testing how it works on the road, it's worth remembering some facts. No clutch or pedals, and it's ready to run and jump. With the original. On the other hand, your family, financial advisor, or friend may act crazy and drag you and your bike to safety for risking big money. 3 Ekasi ES1 Spirit, $3.6 million. When a bike manufacturer requires its riders to take even 2 weeks of training before trying to ride one of their models, you know something is wrong with the bike. Sure, why not? This is not a two-wheeled machine by definition. For starters, there is no chassis frame to speak of. The fork and rear suspension are connected to the transmission, and the front suspension to the engine. The highly desirable 265-pound weight comes from eliminating the extra pounds associated with sending front-end power from head to fork and back to the rest of the machine. The front suspension has 2 arms projecting forward. Their apex defines the steering axis and carries a perpendicular from the front wheel axle projects. The lower A arm is the only swing arm. In order not to blur the thinking feeling from the previous tips on the front end, it sits on the steering wheel by pushing the handlebar power upwards, which means that the result will be like knowledge of controlling telescopic forks. The integrated custom transverse inline 4-cylinder engine knees closer to body driver's seating position for better ergonomics and control, custom front and rear carbon fiber suspension paper, and front fork-mounted handlebar front wheel control for superior performance are all ES1 Spirit. Drive like a real F1 car as seen by both British and American experts. Nothing sums up the details better than knowing that the buyer will be one of the 10 private owners of this two-wheeled paradise. 1949 E90 AGS Porcupine, $7 million. A bicycle company with a rich history and winning heritage. AGS' early years were marked by much turmoil, and it was only in 1949 that 4 Porcupines were built. One of them won the 1949 World Championships under Legram's brilliant command. An open-frame aluminum alloy, 500 DEC DOHC twin engine with horizontal cylinders and cylinder head gives the Porcupine a low center of gravity. It uses the so-called jam pod shock and a telehydraulic racing fork. AJS is like a virtual, real idea of how a biker will do everything, by creating decisions first by the original owners and then by their successors. After the end of the Cold War, veteran Porcupine sat at the National Motorcycle Museum in Coventry for 20 years before being introduced to deep-pocket enthusiasts. 1 Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter, $11 million. Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter wins steampunk. Here is that first. Now in detail. Whoever predicted that the Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter would later become a pillar of every top 10 motorcycles is probably a top-notch seer, especially when it comes to deciding how to sell for $110,000. The price is low to get started. Note that Neiman Marcus is a name you would associate with a shop, not a superbike. However, the unique wind-up design seems to have solved all this. The beautiful frame of the bike is made from a single sheet of metal and has proven very popular. It seems that even Apple took the same approach in their new laptop cases back then. Most design experts agree. Style is at its best where the car's usefulness is built and not hidden from view. When viewers first saw this bike, they were stunned by its transformation. Neiman accurately captures the current trance response and finds the line. This is the evolution of the machine, reinvented and redesigned for optimal performance, while the human immediately returns to its core elements. Our street-ready sci-fi dream comes true in the form of a limited edition warbike. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go.